Greetings, fellow seekers! Once again it is I, Lady Jade Elf Queen Ravenclaw, your spiritual sensei in the Dojo of Destiny. Today in the lair, we are privileged to have the stalwart cast of the excellent, educational, and simply splendiferous Sex is Fun, a podcast dedicated to the rational discussion of human sexuality from the approach of fun, enjoyment, and pleasure. So, grab a cup of your favorite herbal beverage, sit back, and enjoy us for what promises to be a singular experience. Now, it is my unmitigated pleasure to introduce today's guests. First up, Miss Laura Rad, sex-educator extraordinaire.
Hi, Lady Jade.
Next at the table is Gay Rick, HIV and AIDS educator.
Hello, Lady Jade.
Next we have Coochie, preeminent sound engineer.
Hello.
And finally, we round out the panel with the Sex is Fun Major Domo, Mr. Kidder Caper. Greetings and welcome to the lair, one and all. We are, of course, honored by your presence.
Oh, well, thank you. It's an honor to be here on your show.
Now, let us talk of beginnings. How did you all come to form this copulative caucus?
4 years of Catholic high school made me need to do something to fight the amount of sexual fear and ignorance in this world.
So, a bit of rebellion in your past.
Yeah, a lot of rebellion in my past.
And you, Miss Rad, how did you get involved?
Well, I was working at the Smitten Kitten in Minneapolis, and I came in to do an interview on Sex is Fun, and I had such a good time, and I came on permanently to be a co-host on the show.
And what special skills did Miss Rad bring to the table, as it were?
If you could see her do a dildo how-to demonstration, let me tell you, it's impressive. It is.
I'm afraid that would mean changing our YouTube rating.
And the amount of knowledge is just, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's more of a dildo instruction rather than a demonstration, just to clarify.
You say potato, I say potato.
Fair enough.
Next we have Coochie. Tell us of your journey.
I've always enjoyed talking about sex, and I was friends with Kidder before the show ever started, and
We talked a lot about
we
sex.
talked a lot about sex, and then the whole podcasting thing got popular, and we thought, hey, maybe other people would like to hear us talk about sex.
Then, one day, the goddess smiled and we met Gay Rick. And finally, the sexual proclivity rainbow was complete. Let's talk of that day.
I'm glad I could round out the crew for you. Well, I actually have known Coochie since I was a wee lad. After we both finished college, she asked me to be on the show. They actually interviewed me for their gay male sexuality show. I think it was show 60-something or other.
Yeah, it was way back there.
Well, and after that show, we had a ton of people write us and say, Gay Rick is awesome. When are you going to have him back on the show? The people demanded it.
And how was that for you, joining this already established forum?
I don't have any other straight male friends that talk about getting up the ass as much as Kidder does.
I'm good at it.
Suddenly, Laura Rad's marital aid demonstration seems quite tame. How has the podcast changed your lives? Kidder's anal confessions notwithstanding.
I think that needs to be a show title coming up.
For me, it's just opened up a lot of doors. My first book, is being published next summer, and that is really exciting. And I've been able to use Sex is Fun to fund a lot more projects than I was able to before, which is, that's been huge, because I can talk to more people, I can communicate the ideas and broadcast them a lot further than I was ever able to. And really, I just so happy that Coochie said, yeah, we should record us talking about sex.
And just so you know, Lady Jade, the book is going to be fantastic. I got to see it in its development, and it's just been this baby that's blossomed into a beautiful adult book, so...
Well, we are certainly looking forward to its publication, and will no doubt discuss it on this show, in great detail, I imagine. Talk to me of the tipping point. When did the podcast go from a group of friends casually conversing to a real force, an entity of sorts whose message reached the whole world.
I hope we're still getting there. No, I was always kind of amazed by the amount of listeners that we have. In fact, sometimes it's kind of scary and I don't want to know, because when we're in the room recording together, it feels like we're four friends talking about sex. And granted, a lot of us have backgrounds that lend itself to that, but we still feel just like four people who have sex lives talking about sex. And so sometimes it can seem sort of shocking to me when we're hearing from people in New Zealand that listen to the podcast, or when we look at the numbers. I think it's really great, and I think it's really changed my views on education. When I came to this podcast, my views on sex education were that it was. It needed to be very factual and to the point. And I think that this show really humanized that for me and made me realize that there's a huge audience of people out there that really just want to hear people talk honestly about their sex lives and issues they face in their sexuality day to day. So I think that's been amazing for me to figure out.